Hello, I hope you're having a lovely day today. It is chilly out and it has been raining all morning, so there will not be any outside work today unless the weather turns around. And Scott's out of town, so I've decided to go get a coffee and go to an antique mall, peddler's mall type of place, and just walk around. It's a huge place. Every time we go, we only end up going through a few aisles because it's so big, and we were like, you really need a big chunk of time to be able to go there. So I am gonna go there today and we'll see if I find anything. I have some old books on my mind. I'm always looking for the Anne of Green Gables extra books. Like, not the extra books, but I have the first of the series, and I read that last summer and loved it, so I want to find the rest of the series, and I would love to find it in person. I probably could just order it from Thrift books, but I really want to find it like how I found the first one. And last time I was there, there was this wooden stand for drying dishes, and I'm thinking about changing up the ways that I have my dish station set up so we can use both sides of the sink. If that's still there, I may consider getting it. We'll see, but that is what we're doing today. So first stop, going to get a cold brew from my favorite local coffee shop. Oh, and I just remembered, I have cream. So I'm gonna go back inside, mix some milk and cream, take it with me so I can have my own, and get on the road. Okay, we're here. I've got my cold brew with my raw milk and half milk, half cream. We picked up our milk last week from our dairy, which is an hour and a half away, and we always get lots and lots of milk while we're there, and then we freeze it. If you want more information about that, I did a whole video on what we do with 10 gallons of raw milk once a month. And it is still raining. It wasn't even supposed to rain today, which is amazing. It was just supposed to be overcast, but I don't mind it because I planted a lot of seeds direct sowing outside yesterday, lots of flowers, so I'm hoping this will help. And we have seeds to sow on our land across the street. We're gonna do a bunch of wildflowers, hopefully, across the street, and I've been waiting to plant them until we get a good rain. That way the ground's nice and wet, and then we can just rake the seeds into the ground and we'll see what happens. I'll show you probably in future videos, but it was a horse pasture and it really has been like stomped down, and the land needs a lot of recovery. Together, Scott and I are reading Joel Salatin's book, The Lunatic Farmer, or something like that. Scott's read it before, years ago, but we've never read it together, so that's the book we're reading together. And him talking about his family healing the land has really given us hope and excitement for our land across the street, which is 2.5 acres, and there's a creek running through it, there's a horse barn, and yeah, it's exciting. There's lots of potential there. Sometimes I come in here and I leave with nothing, so we'll see how this goes. All right, so first thing I saw was this wood. They called it a sugar mold. I thought it was really cute and it would be a very pretty centerpiece with flowers in it of a table. I thought $16 was a lot for it, and I don't need something like that. Then I also saw this Laura Ingalls Wilder book. If it was in better condition, I probably would have gotten it. I liked this little garden gate, and then I saw this butterfly book. I looked it up. This was $12, and on Thrift Books it sold for $13 at the cheapest, but there was also the same book for $20-something. And this is the rack that I was talking about. I again googled bamboo rack and see what the price was everywhere else, and you can get these at Target and Walmart and Amazon for cheaper than they're selling it. Not that I'm going to buy it from any of those places because I don't shop at any of those, but I was like, why would you price this more than what a new one at a store would be? It makes no sense. I also was interested in these knitting needles. They were all together. I didn't need all of them. And then same with this little vintage farm set. Also cute, but way overpriced. That is a trend that I noticed with these antique malls. People just price things so expensive. It's actually a little bit mind-blowing to me what a lot of these places or vendors price things at. Scott and I, for a short season, we did a vendor's booth at an antique mall, peddler's mall type of place, and it was so much fun. And that was one thing that I always did, was look up what the prices sell for online. And I always did it like $1 or $2 cheaper than what you could get it for online, because that's the incentive of someone buying it directly from you. You don't have to worry about shipping. For our booth, I actually wanted things to sell. When people go to antique stores, they want to buy something. So if you just priced things reasonably, things would sell. But after the antique mall, I went to a nursery and they had Tabasco pepper plants. I bought some pepper plants from Azure because my seeds they did not do good. I think I have 2 pepper plants from seed and they're tiny and struggling, and I hope they make it. My peppers didn't do well, so I bought some from Azure, and then I didn't even know that there was a Tabasco pepper, and Scott loves Tabasco sauce, so that's why I bought 2 of those plants. And then I bought 3 different annuals because I'm going to take cuttings from them. So that's something to note. I learned from my mom that you can take cuttings from plants. That's what a lot of nurseries do. So even the plants that I picked out today, I was like going through them to see which one had the least amount of snips off of it and had small shoots off of it. Because if you're at a nursery, you can easily look up whatever plant you're interested in and say, can I take cuttings from this plant? And then you can get an answer, yes or no. That's something to look into. It will save you so much money. These plants that I got are for my deck area. They're the ones that we got last year. And I'm not in a hurry to have them full blooming. I'm okay with taking the time to do small cuttings of them and for them to grow. If you were having a party or needed to put flowers on your deck in one day, this obviously wouldn't be ideal because this is taking a longer route, but this is a great way of saving money and getting beautiful flowers on your porch is by taking cuttings. So I stopped there and I think I spent $18 on everything, and it's a local nursery, so I like supporting them. And I'll show you all of the things that I got today. And then the other day I went to a Catholic thrift shop and also got things from there that I'll show you. So from today, you saw in the video there was this book. I put this in my cart and then I was like taking it out, trying to decide. I saw this right at the beginning of the store. I just think it's the most beautiful book ever. Even from the side, I think it's so pretty. It was written in 1922, and so it's in really good condition for an old book. I also love illustrations in old books. This is so beautiful. And like I said, I looked up this exact book online to see if $12 was a good deal, because normally to me that's very expensive, but it was actually cheaper than anything I could find online. Scott and I both very much value books. We think books are assets, especially old books. To have them is a value for our household. We have tons of butterflies in our garden. I thought this would be a fun book one day with children. It would be fun to go through, and then also just for myself, because there's a lot about swallowtails and we have so many swallowtails on our property. So this was $12. Normally, I would not pay $12 for a book, but old books, I have a little bit of grace for because I love old books. And then the last thing I got from this place was this cotton shirt. I have 2 100% organic cotton shirts from Pact that are long sleeve, and I love them. They're my favorite shirts. I didn't realize how much I like plain color shirts with skirts, and so that's why I got this. Long sleeve shirts are nice to layer with, and I also think this color's in my color palette. It was only $3, so wash that today. And that was it from the antique mall. But the Catholic thrift shop the other day, I ended up finding these old vintage shutters, and there's 2 of them. And normally, if you see shutters, they are expensive. They go for a lot of money, and these were $3.50 each. And Scott built us a chicken coop. We now have chickens, and I love them so much. And when I saw this, I was like, this would be so cute to decorate the outside of the chicken coop somehow. I don't know, like, it obviously, this wouldn't be like functional shutters, but decorative shutters, I think they would go with the whole design. I just thought $3.50 for vintage shutters, and you rarely see them this size. At least I rarely see them this size, and I just love them. I could not let them sit there. So that was $7 for both of them. And then I got this teacup and saucer set. There's 4 teacups and 8 saucers, and I have seen these at this thrift shop for months. Before we even left for South Africa, these stay there, and they've always caught my attention because I think they are beautiful. And last year I found 2 of these ones, and in the fall I broke one of them, and I was so upset that I broke it because we loved drinking hot cocoa out of these, so we both had matching little floral teacups. And so I did notice these. It's like nearly the same. It's the same brand, the Covington edition, Stoneware Japan. So these have always stood out to me in this thrift shop, but I was like, I don't need them. I don't need them. Well, this time when I went, the price was marked down to $1.50 for all of them. There is more saucers than there are cups, but I like these saucers for terracotta pots for inside plants. I do not like using terracotta. I don't know why. I can't think of what those are called. I can't think of what they're called. You'll probably think of them as I'm trying to describe it. But the little saucers or plates or terracotta trays underneath of pots, the problem I find with the terracotta ones is if you put that on wood furniture and you water your plant, terracotta is absorbable, so it can soak through into your wood table. So I like keeping old dishware that I would never use. When we lived in Indiana and I went to auctions, you'd get like an entire tub of things, and it would be like mismatched dinner plates or saucers or side plates, and I would always keep them because I use them for underneath my plants instead of the terracotta clay things that water can go through. And I like this. It's very plain. It's very simple. It has a simple design. It's blue. So these will be very useful. Moving on, I found these brand new for $1 at the Catholic thrift shop. When we moved in here, ours were wrapped in foil, and I left it like that for a long time. And then one day it just drove me crazy. So I was like, I'm gonna go buy some. So I think I went to Lowe's or Home Depot. It was like $30 for a 4-pack of these. I could not believe it. So when I saw these for $1, I bought them because I was like, well, mine look fine right now, but if somewhere down the road they don't, and I have visitors coming over, we're switching over to these because they're only $1. And lastly, I've got some books. So I've never read these. I don't know if these are good or not. I just thought they looked really interesting, and they were hardcover, and they were only $1 each. So it's the Sweet Briar series. So there's 3 of them by Brenda Wilby. I like these old style books, prairie books. I think they're very enjoyable. And it's a 3-series set. So this is going to be summer fictional reading. Another book, this one was $5, which again to me was like, oh, a little bit on the more expensive side, but I really liked this book. It's called The Book of Virtues for Young People, a treasury of great moral stories. And it's a lot of little short stories from historical figures. And it's very much Christian based, and I just think it looked really interesting, not only for when we have children, but also I just thought this is one of those books that you can just pick up, read a short story, and be inspired. This one was $5. And then lastly, they're outside, but I got these old cookie sheets. They were 50 cents each, and I'm getting those for my plants, my soil blockers, to be able to do my soil blocking in those metal things, because I have those plastic trays that I've been soil blocking into, but they're not going to last long. They break and they have cracks in them. So my goal is to, every time I go thrift shopping, if I see any of those old cookie sheets for 50 cents, that's what I will do my soil blocking on. So that is everything for this little thrift haul. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day.